Hey, this is Darren with day 2 of 17 minutes towards your dream and mine. Uh, this isn't going to be fancy. There's going to be no graphics because I'm going to post this every day for 5 days a week at least. And it's 17 minutes towards my goal. So I'm doing this to keep myself accountable, to keep moving forward. So it's not really day 2 of moving towards the dream, but it's day 2 of making the commitment to make daily progress. So you'll start to understand what I've been doing as we go along. And one of the first things you need towards your dream is figuring out the tools and getting the information and how to get there. And so I took a screenwriting course for the one that I'm working on, writing the screenwriting. There'll be no editing. It's just going to be raw and real. So there you go. So I went to a screenwriting workshop and I learned from Truby and Sid Field and also Michael Haig, got that book, and also Linda Seeger. So I got all these books, and this was my little name tag. Yay! The other thing I did is for Christmas, my mom's always wondering what to get me, and there's never enough, so I got everything I really need and want. So what I had her do was get me some movies. These are real-life stories that are inspirational, motivational stories, and I want to study them because that's also what I love and what inspires me. So I'm realizing this is part of who I am. Also, though, one of the big ones that I'm doing to set myself up to move forward is this book by Donald Miller. So today, day 2, I time myself, and when you're working towards your dream, one of the things that I found helpful to me is at the beginning, make the habit. Be adamant to create the habit. It doesn't matter. 17 minutes, some days I'll go 2 hours or 3 hours or maybe all day. But as long as I do that 17 minutes, I'm developing the habit. So I'm keeping track. I time myself. So today I just read a couple chapters from this book. And this book was recommended to me by a pastor, and it's actually a book about a man who wanted to turn his story into a film. And Vince was so adamant that you got to read this book, you got to read this book. So even though it's not about screenwriting, I felt that his passion and enthusiasm that I must get it drove me to get it. And this is another Christmas present for my mom. So I read 2 chapters from this. Took me 18 minutes and 56 seconds, but I made progress. And I will not do less than 17 minutes. There was some really cool things that I learned in this book. And if you're into screenwriting or working on that, Robert McKee's name keeps coming up as one of the great storytelling teachers. And 2 things came up that I remembered from my past reading is that, and from the workshop, is that movies are really made to evoke emotion. And when I was reading one of the powerful points in the book, I could feel the emotion of what was happening to the character. And the other thing is in this chapter that I read today, it was about, he was quoting Robert McKee, the great screenwriter and screenwriter coach, and how the important thing is that the character goes through a character arc, that you don't just have a peaceful fantasy that comes true. It's actually the struggle that defines the character that changes the character. And it's great to have the relief to come out on the other side, but it was the struggle that changed the character. And that was a big reminder for me. So those are 2 points that were reinforced not only in the reading, but it's great reading. But I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I'm trying to just discipline and go forward. So if you have any comments, please leave them below on my blog, and I'll try and answer any questions from the day before that were posted. So some great comments from day 1 in the article that went out in my newsletter, so that was really cool. I was inspired by how other people were inspired. So I'm really psyched about doing this, and again, don't know where it's going to go. So today I am not only 17, but I am 18 minutes and 56 seconds closer to my goal. So I got to make some progress. I got to learn some of this new software on how to write a screenplay. But at the beginning, finding the tools and developing the habit. And I am 17 minutes closer. Are you? What are you working on? See you tomorrow. Stage time.